What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Alright, so we'll see how this goes. Oh man, yeah, actually, yesterday again, I was at the mechanic or whatever, because I had them inspect my new car that I just got. 'Cause it's not a new car, it's a used car, but it's new to me. And, you know, anytime you buy a used car, you should always have it inspected, you know, by a mechanic that you trust. So, yeah, I took it into them, you know, had them do an inspection and whatnot. So, I mean, obviously, you know, it took them a while. So I was just kind of sitting there in their office. And, you know, I've been going to them for years now, so, you know, they know who I am and all that good shit. So I was kind of just sitting there, you know, chatting with the, you know, with the guy who runs the shop and whatnot. So we kind of just got into chatting, because I was kind of curious as to, like, because he actually just recently switched locations, because they had been at a different location for, like, many, many years. But they shifted locations, like, just before the whole COVID pandemic hit and whatnot. He's like, yeah. So I was kind of curious, so we got into chatting. And I was like, yeah, so it must have been kind of interesting, you know, switching right around the whole COVID thing. He's like, yeah, so we just spent, like, all this money to have this new building fixed up and whatnot. So we had just, like, sank a whole bunch of money into this new building and shit. And then on top of it, the COVID pandemic hit, and then, like, we had no business for, like, 6 weeks. He's like, we were actually going to close up shop and whatnot, but we got that, you know, business loan or whatever from the government. So, you know, that helped them be able to stay open. So, yeah, because I was kind of curious about how that was going for them, you know, because I've only seen it through the eyes of, like, you know, a restaurant, because, you know, I've been working during that, and I'm sure that this year, you know, our owner's probably not going to turn a profit this year. That being said, I mean, we were at least able to stay open for, you know, carryouts and shit, whereas, you know, his car place, you know, the mechanic that I go to, he was like, yeah, we were actually going to close up shop permanently, you know. He's like, we were going to have to, you know, but luckily we got that business loan, which has allowed us to stay open. And he's like, now we've got some business coming in, so that's good. I'm like, yeah, that's good indeed. I'm glad you guys were able to, you know, tough it out and stay open, you know. Definitely glad. So I really do like these guys. They always do a good job on my car. And, yeah, they very nice people. They always know what they're doing. And, yeah, that's why I've been going to them for, you know, ever since I owned a car. You know, I've been going to those guys. So, yeah, they're smart. They know what they're doing, and they're just good people. You know, so I like to give them business. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting, though, hearing that from a different perspective, you know. His, you know, ordeal with the whole COVID thing, and how his business has, you know, dealt with it or, you know, suffered because of it and whatnot. So, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. So, yeah, we kind of got into chatting and stuff, you know. It's kind of an interesting conversation. He, too, was like, you know, I'm not buying that this whole COVID thing is as bad as they're saying. You know, that's kind of the sense I got from him. And I'm like, yeah, because he got into talking about, again, the whole difference between counting deaths with COVID rather than deaths from COVID. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, the numbers are obviously and openly inflated. There's a politician or someone in Illinois who literally, because I live in Illinois, by the way, who literally admitted that they are not distinguishing between deaths with COVID rather than deaths from COVID. So the numbers are just straight up completely unreliable on a fundamental level. I mean, they just are. You know, so we kind of got into talking about that too. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting to hear things from his perspective, though, and how things went for him and how he was barely able to stay open, you know. But either way, I'm definitely glad for him that he was able to keep his business open and all that good shit. So, thank God. So, otherwise I would have had to find a new car place, you know, so. Yeah. Glad he was able to stay open. Alright, well, either way, guys, that will do it for that one. Stay tuned, and until next time, peace out.